Hello, this is Victor, RestoringMercedes.com. This is another video for Aislad in Maryland. And okay, Aislad, so as you can see, headliner is back in place. I tried to install it exactly to factory location so you don't see any kind of creases or marks. Whatever marks there left from factory installation, this is where I lined it up to. You know, these little tiny areas, this is how it used to be, and flush. So you don't see really any kind of signs of this thing ever being removed. Now the only thing is that when you remove headliners of this vintage, obviously some of the stuff will fall off. So this was falling off a front. The front over here was falling off. I had to re-glue this all. All of the clips were broken because the glue was disintegrated. All of those re-glued. And this thing was falling off, so this one I had to glue up to the best of my ability, because this is very difficult to glue, and if you go a little too much, then you know, it's just either gonna go burn through, or, well, depends how you glue it. But this came out more or less okay. As you can see it, this came out pretty good. The sunroof piece I'm waiting on right now. This piece, obviously, when you remove it, this was sold, so all of the clips broke, but it's $20 for brand new one, so I ordered it, so I'm gonna snap it in. And basically the roof situation is complete. Now, passenger door is also done, we know about that, so that's complete. Now the driver's door, the window situation, I see that the rivets, they're loose. They put wrong rivets in it. I think they put too long of rivets, so when they were compressing it, the rivet broke before completely compressing itself. So the whole mechanism is moving. It seemed to be a replacement window regulator, but they didn't use right rivets, and they really butchered all of this stuff, as you saw in my previous videos, how I removed these things and how these guys took them all off. And then you can tell that it was done at some point ago, because duct tape is sort of dry already, not completely disintegrated, but kind of dry. So, you know, I don't know if you did it like a year ago or so, or maybe previous owner did it, but they did a pretty messed up job here. But anyway, that's inside the door. I can put it back together, so it'll be all right. Micro switch inside the door lock is bad. It's not working properly. I want to look into that, because that would causes windows not to close all the way, and sometimes even when you close them all the way, they close, and then you move the door handle, the whole door a little bit, they drop down. So I narrowed it down. I found out what's wrong. The micro switch disengages, so that is something I'm going to look into, but today it's too late already. But before I look into that, I have to remove the glass and the whole window regulator, so I can get the whole lock out and see if I can fix it. If I can't, then we'll get another lock. But switch works, is just that it disengages too quickly, so that's what happens. Now another problem here I found is the air conditioner, because as you asked me to check it out, and I did, before I did anything I refilled it. Now my biggest issue here is, if you look at gauges right now, so what do we see? We basically see high pressure and low pressure pretty much equal, just kind of like, oh, after a while, I mean, I guess they can do that, but I don't really like how pressures actually work. Okay, I mean, high and low, I mean, eventually, yeah, I mean, they will get equal if the car sits. But the problem here is that the low pressure is about 50 all the time, which is not good. I mean, it's supposed to go lower, around 40 when you give it gas, but it doesn't. And the low pressure and the high pressure, right, when it goes up, it can go to like 225, and then you give it gas, it actually drops. Usually when you give it gas, it goes up a little bit, or like maybe down, and remains at that level. And at this time, low pressure starts to lower. Now I fill this up with brand new gas on scale, 1.15 kilograms of gas, and that is all proper. So this is exactly how it's supposed to be. Heater control valve does not seem to be leaking. sometimes they leak and both heater cores are they energized. So it could be few things, of course, why it's happening. Why, I mean, it's better than before, but still not as cold as my other cars and the customers' cars. Now it could be the compressor is not sucking in Freon well, because the high pressure doesn't really reach like 250, barely it happens. It's like somewhere 225. But if you give it gas, you know, at this temperature, about 90 degrees, it would get to 250. And also we don't have the main fan here as well, so it's very hot. So I would say, well, based on my previous experience, that's what I saw in my previous experiences. So it can run up to like 250 or whatnot. I mean, I have another video showing the pressures. Actually, you can see that one on my own car, but this one does not lower. So maybe we have the bad compressor. We might have expansion valve, and something is wrong with that. So it's not atomizing it's not atomizing the coolant, and that gets into the evaporator. And basically I don't see any other things. Well, something blocked in line. Well, something blocked in line, kind of like hard to kind of believe. The car is low mileage and, you know, well, relatively low for the year. I mean, it's not, I don't see what can physically get stuck in one of the lines somewhere, you know. It's a completely closed system. It doesn't seem like anybody was messing with it. There is not even dye in the system. That means that nobody even looked for any leaks, because there are no leaks. But before I actually even went to do anything, obviously I wanted to make sure that my pressures are on point. Like, I know exact amount was put into this system, exact amount of gas. All right, so it is exact amount of gas. What I can get it down to is I can get it down to 60, so 62 degrees. So that is sort of something that I don't like much. I'll show you pressures when I start the vehicle. So air conditioner is on low. So here are our pressures, and off they go. Oh my god. All right. Well, obviously it's very hot. You see, that's about, this is like, it kind of looks okay now. To me, this is okay. All right, so when it's hot, so you got high pressure high, low pressure would not go there. But usually at this point, I would actually prefer for low pressure to be somewhere around 65 mark versus where it is right now at 50 or like 48. That's what I would like it to be at 60, because that's about where it should be right now, because it's really hot. The car's set for a while and inside is hot, and the whole car ran for a little bit, so it is all hot. So let me give it some gas. So as you see, nothing really changes, which is kind of bizarre to me, because every time you give it gas, compressor spins faster. And obviously there's supposed to be more circulation, and obviously supposed to be more pressure, and higher pressure goes up, lower pressure goes down. And what did we see here? Nothing. It just basically remained at the same. So that's what makes me think it's like a compressor is bad. So it actually went a little down, the high pressure. You see, the high pressure went down to like 175, and low pressure hasn't moved. So I kind of have a feeling that's a compressor, because higher the RPM, lower the high pressure is. So that means it doesn't pump well. That's my prediction. Alright, so I'm gonna have to cut this video up, because this has been a long day, and right now it's livable in the vehicle. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's like AC does not work. It does work. It works better than before, actually. Like right now I'm in the car. Cut off of high temperature outside. It's 89, so right now I'm in the car. The AC is at high. So let's see where our evaporator temperature is at. So the evaporator temperature is 62. To be honest with you, that's high. So when I give it gas right now, you see RPMs right there. The evaporator temperature should go down because we're supposed to be pumping more coolant. And it just, okay, so that's good, 60, that's already good, alright. But I'm pressing on the gas at 1500, like 1800 RPM, that's high RPM. So let's go 1500. It went down only to 60 and it's not going down. It should be going down right now, down to 50s. And 60 is the only lowest number I ever got it down to. So there is something going on here. I think it's the compressor. Okay, 59. Well, come on, after all this time, that's just not right. So I think it's the compressor. It's not pumping well. Therefore, we have this problem. Or maybe we have a bad expansion valve, or something is with the evaporator blocked, but I doubt it. I would just think it's compressor, because in any event, if you overcharge the system or not charge the system all the way, the needles will still be moving up and down. So they're not. So that means the compressor, something is wrong there. Alright, so I'm gonna cut it off because it's getting late. So this is another part, and Victor at RestoreMercedes.com. Thank you for watching.